going to go to some music straight afterwards.
Right, I won't keep you long. Got my speech in here. I know you're all waiting to get to the bar, so we'll crack on.
What's in there?
My speech. Here we go. Oh, I can't see. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers, sisters, distinguished guests, friends, Romans, countrymen, ears, nose and throat specialists, doctors, dentists, nurses, teachers, preachers, artists, actors, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, tinkers, tailors, soldiers, sailors, rich people, poor people, beggar people, thieves, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, Jains, Sikhs, Rastas, Mormons, Shintos, pagans, atheists, Satanists, florists, gods, angels, demons, spirits, ghosts, witches, familiars, elves, dwarves, sprites, leprechauns, homunculi, beings of light. Viewers at home, viewers online, viewers offline, viewers on Facebook, viewers on YouTube, Google+, Twitter, Pinterest, Vine, www.philandjamie.com, Tumblr, Flickr, Instagram, Grub, Dibble, Cuthbert, Barney McGrew, Pew. Mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, Signore, Signori, Herren und Damen, Caballeros e Damos, Kyrios, Kikiri, Dominerum e Yiduce. Welcome. Willkommen, bienvenue, bienvenidos, bienvenidos, calazorices, salve. I think you'll all agree with me when I say how radiant the lovely couple look today. It was clear from the start how very much they loved each other. And I suppose it was only a matter of time before one of them finally popped the question. I know many of you, like me, will be wondering if this means we'll soon be hearing the pitter-patter of tiny little, the pitter-patter of tiny little, when Rick and Shirl, oh God, no, sorry, Rick, my brother Rick and his fiancée Shirl, they're getting married in November and I'm best man there and I've got the speeches mixed up. I've got to read the wrong one. I'm sorry, you've just heard the first page of your speech there. So. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers, sisters, distinguished guests, friends, blah 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 blah, beings of light. Welcome, welcome. I think you all agree with me when I say how radiant a happy couple look today. It was clear from the very start how much they loved each other, and I suppose it was only a matter of time before one of them finally popped the question. I know that many of you will be wondering, like me, if this means we'll soon be hearing the pitter-patter of tiny little feet as Tao and Zen welcome them home, back across the threshold as one. You will note that in the introduction I referred to you as beings of light, because that is indeed truly what we are, beings of light. When I look at Phil, I see the aura of Krishna, the embodiment of love and joy and a penis. Happiness. When I look at Jamie, I see the aura of Vishnu, a creative force burning brightly, bringing light into the darkness. When I look in the mirror, I see the aura of Barbatos, a duke of hell with a pig's nose and big pointy ears and a voice like a duck. Oh, how I laughed. Anyway. Digress there, sorry. As is traditional now, for the best man, sorry, no, hang on, there's two best men. So one of the best men, no, hang on, so you can't have two. So one of the better men.
I'll be the worst, you be the
No, it'll work its way out, you'll be good at something. One of the better men now to recount a few outrageous and humorous and extremely embarrassing stories about my good friend, Phil Richards. Where could I begin? Well, who could forget the summer of 1959 when his younger brother Cliff had a hit with Living Doll. Or the winter of 1967 when his son Keith was arrested on drugs charges. Or the spring of 1986 when his cousin Morphy released an exciting range of terracotta-coloured electric kettles. As for Phil Richards, the man himself, I've known him all afternoon. Seems like a nice enough guy. Jamie and I, however, go back a lot further. Well, it must be about 7 years now. 7 years ago now, I remember him coming up the garden path with his partner at the time, who was this nutter called Phil. And actually, I thought that it would be useful or interesting to tell you a few stories about this nutter called Phil that Jamie brought up my garden path 7 years ago. Sorry, finished? Didn't get a break, go to the bar? No, okay. Sorry. Right, okay. I first met this guy Phil in 1972 when I was a strange 16-year-old at a strange party in a strange house where strange people with strange hair listened to strange music with their strange ears, and strange smells wafted through the air and into my strange nostrils. I was surrounded by strangers and felt strange. Eventually, this strange guy came up to me and said, would you like a drink? I said, yeah, cool, yeah, well, thank you. Off he went. It was about 2 or 3 hours later when he came back with a cereal bowl full of vodka and lime.
Yeah, no, I'll never tell him this.
That was it. No, not much lime, no. There was a relationship was born in that instant, and we were cemented together forever. I was like Arjuna to his Krishna, Hanuman to his Rama, Govinda to his Siddhartha, Goldman to his Narcissus, Vivekananda to his who's that, Ramakrishna? Onion to his Sage, Jerry to his Tom, Sweep to his Sooty. Anyway, at that time he didn't realise he was gay. Everyone else did, it seemed, except him. Even one night when he insisted that he slept in the same bed as me and Sed, waiting for a meteor shower, he didn't twig. Even when we were lying out under the starry sky in Petersfield one night and he leaned over and gave me a big fat smacker on the chops, he still didn't twig. And it wouldn't be for another 10 years, including 2 years as a monk in a Hindu monastery, before he realised that he was gay. And so it was no surprise to me, one morning back in, I think it was 1982, round about then, I received a phone call. "Guess what?" said the voice. "I'm gay!" "I know," I replied. I called up to Moy. "It's Phil. He says he's gay." "At last," she said. Oh, how we laughed. I was straight, he was gay, so what? I was Sundance to his Butch. I was Fred to his Ginger. I was Gomorrah to his Sodom. I was Custard to his Rhubarb. I was Squeak to his Bubble. I was Ernie to his Bert. I was Perky to his Pinky. Anyway, Phil moved down to London and lived with a lovely guy called Neil. We've already mentioned Neil. Phil mentioned him before. And we continued to see each other whenever we could. He lived in London. I'd go down on the train. He'd come back on the train. And I don't quite know when it started, but we decided to meet each other in disguise at the railway stations. My personal best was a dinner lady. And it really worked. I was stood next to him while he was on the phone ringing, saying, he's not here, where is he? I stood next to him. Great, fantastic. His personal best, I think, was the Franciscan nun, actually. Full Franciscan nun with a wimple. There's a whole story there as well, isn't there? Yeah. We've had an elderly vicar, a Muslim woman, an Orthodox Jew, an Arab, a Viking, Spider-Man, a rabbit, a pantomime cow. So far. The man with two heads, yeah, we did have a man with two heads, yeah. If he chose to drove to my house, and so he didn't come in disguise, I'd invite him into my living room and jump on his back, tear all his clothes off and throw his socks and underpants in the fire. Oh, how we laughed. It's just true, that. It's not, it's just true.
Many a time.
Our relationship continued to grow over the years, and I've had the good fortune to experience many things I probably wouldn't have had if it wasn't for Phil. For example, I might never have danced in public wearing nothing but a banana-shaped thong. I may never have stood on stage and pretended to pull a bunch of flowers out of someone's bottom. Or stuck plastic eyeballs on someone's buttocks with spirit gum. Or even known what it's like to be hit on the head with another man's penis. Ah, happiness. We were like partners in crime, without the crime. We were like partners, but we weren't like partners. I was like Watson to his Sherlock, Lewis to his Morse, Cagney to his Lacey, Barney to his Fred, Itchy to his Scratchy, Beavis to his Butthead, Rocky to his Bullwinkle. I like that one, actually. It's alright, some of this is just for me, actually. Anyway, this sort of thing went on happily until 2001, when Neil was diagnosed with cancer and tragically died a couple of years later. And I think it's fair to say that this was probably the darkest period of Phil's life. And after a while, I started to worry that I may never see that twinkle in his eye ever again. But I did. About 7 years ago, when he met Jamie. I'm so happy for them both that they've found each other, and I can only love them. I can only love them. I can actually. I can only wish them much love and happiness together for many years to come. And so you can see that Phil has been a very important person in my life. He's been like the brother I never had, apart from my wonderful brother Rick.
Hang on. Hang on!
They don't know that. I was like Cain to his Abel, Castor to his Pollux, Romulus to his Remus, I enjoyed saying Pollux actually, Ronnie to his Reggie, Harry to his William, Ben to his Bill, Gummo to his Groucho, Chico, Harpo and Zeppo. So when Jamie first approached me, as he's already said, and asked me his permission for Phil's hand in marriage because I am his dad, it was important that I go through the appropriate protocol. So I did a full strip search. I did a complete psychological screening. I interrogated in full compliance of Article 3 of the European Committee on Human Rights. And after an exhaustive session going over the same thing again and again and again and again, he finally wore me down and I said yes. Oh, how we laughed. But it turns out he was serious. And that's why we're all here today. Yeah, great, it's great. So anyway, thank yous it says here now. Now people have said thank yous to some people, but some other people I think probably need thanking as well. I personally would like to say a special thank you to the ring bearer, Bilbo Baggins. Actually she's outside, isn't she? Jessica, she's outside playing on Already mentioned Basher, who did the flowers. I don't know who this Barbara person was that we're talking about. Basher and Rosie. That was me, Joe. I'd also like to say a special thank you to the mother of all grooms for providing such a lovely venue to host the reception, for being such a lovely hostess. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the tailors, Gresham Blake, for making these magical waistcoats. And they're great, aren't they? The jackets and the waistcoats. Fantastic. No, they're really good. Hang on, what's that? Oh! Hang on, someone is this one. Sorry, I never did that before. And I'd like to say a big thank you for everyone for taking the time to be here with us now to celebrate this very special day with our very special friends. Thank you. It's great. Yeah. I think it's fair to say that you will never go to another do like this. They only happen once every blue moon. Which is quite fortunate, actually, because tonight is a blue moon. A blue moon is when you get 2 moons in the same month. There's 13 moons in a year. Tonight is the blue moon. It's not blue, but we call it blue. Well, I don't call it blue, actually. Anyway, so as I come to the end of the speech now, everybody breathes a sigh of relief. I was thinking about how I could sum up all this love and joy and friendship. What memory could I leave you with to take away from this day? Something that would stick in your mind. Something you could reflect on, something profound, something that would capture the moment. And it occurred to me that there are far greater wordsmiths in the world than I. So what better than to finish with a quote? And so for tonight, for this occasion, I have chosen 4 lines from that timeless classic, If. With you in a minute.
Waiting to see what you've got in that bloody suitcase.
I'll be with you in a minute.
If all the world was apple pie, and all the sea was ink, and all the trees were bread and cheese, what would we have to drink?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to be upstanding for the toast?
There's no line, though.
Doesn't matter. To the lovely Mr. and Mr. Philip and Jamie Richards, may your life be full of joy and love and a penis. One more for absent friends, eh? One more. Thank you. Thank you. Right, that's it now. You can all relax. I can relax. Right, what's going to happen now is we're going to clear... Do you want to tell them? You?
No, I do it. Go on.
Okay. There's going to be about 5 or 10 minutes while we clear these tables away from this end and tidy up a bit down that end. And then the party really starts. So if you just give us 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be right with you. Thank you.